Good afternoon and good evening to everyone present here. I am Saurabh Sonwani, an early career representative of iLEAPS and the convener of this program. With me are co-convener Pallavi Saxena and Samina Shamsuddin, our scientific steering committee member of iLEAPS and iLEAPS IPO respectively. We welcome you all to our 11th episode of Ride with iLeaps on the Wheel of Science, a global interview series. Today, our guest is Professor Sia Babu. He is the professor emeritus at the Center for Environment Management of Degraded Ecosystem at University of Delhi. However, before introducing him, I would like to say a few words about iLeaps. So iLEAPS stand for Integrated Land, Ecosystem, Atmosphere, Process Study. It is a global research project of Future Earth. It seeks to provide an understanding about how interacting physical, chemical, and biological process transport and transform energy and matter through the land-atmosphere interface. Like other Future Earth global research project, iLeaps is a network to link iLeaps scientists to key societal challenges related to health, biodiversity, climate, food, and fuel security, and ultimately linked to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. It promotes scientific excellence through developing international science initiatives that are multidisciplinary through bringing together the modeling community with satellite, experimental, and field observational expert, and through enabling communication and networking across the international science community. It facilitates such initiative by acting as a communication hub and coordinator of worldwide scientific research in the field of ecosystem atmosphere exchange and the impact of those exchanges on the key societal issues. Another very important initiative of iLeaps is promotion of leadership in the science through capacity building in developing countries as well as through their early career scientist network by hosting workshops ensuring timely and relevant science to be available through their website and training program. Recently, we have conducted several important events and seminars like Earth and Environment Day series ran for 2021-22, targeting South Asia. We also organized iLEAPS Light Conference 2022, iLEAPS OSFlux Conference 2023, and we have also successfully conducted a global curriculum series from 2022 to 2025. And we are also actively convened several sessions in European Geoscience Union and SRI from last several years and recently conducted session in IGAC SOLAS in 2024. As we know that are several challenges faced by researchers, scientists in different fields of science and technology. Thus, a motivation is always required to drive the enthusiasm to carry forward research. The key to motivation is to follow the footstep and journey of renowned and esteemed researchers and academicians that help to set the remarkable goal. So this was the understanding behind this present program to provide researchers, especially early career researchers, an opportunity to imbibe knowledge, inspiration, and zeal to conduct their research in a direction that is helpful or fruitful for the welfare of the science and society. So with the brief introduction of iLeaps, here this is a time to start our program with our guest, Professor C.R. Babu, who had a remarkable journey in the field of ecological restoration, conservation, biology, biodiversity, ecosystem dynamics, and functions. So here I would like to request Samina to introduce Professor Babu. So now over to you, Samina.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you very much for such a great introduction about iLeaps. And also, thank you for finding out these renowned people for this interview series. It's my pleasure to introduce Professor Sia Babu. Professor has served as the Pro Vice Chancellor of the University of Delhi during 2000 to 2005. He is Professor Emeritus at the University of Delhi and presently working at the Center for Environmental Management of Degraded Ecosystems, University of Delhi. He has been working in the area of conservation biology, biodiversity, ecological restoration, ecosystem dynamics and functions, and systematics for more than 45 years. He, along with his students, published about 233 research papers in national and international journals. He's a fellow of Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore. To his achievement, we can add 3 national awards for his contribution in the conservation of biodiversity, which are Indira Gandhi Paryavaran Puraskar of Ministry of Environment and Forests, Government of India for the year 2009. Vasvik Award 2005 for Environmental Science and Technology, and Narayan Dutt Award 2008 for Conservation of Nature. He also served as a chairman and member of several national and international committees on environment and ecology. So it's my pleasure to welcome you, Professor, to this interview series. Now the floor is yours, Saurabh, to start with the official interview. Thank you.
Thank you, Samina, and good evening, and you're most welcome, Professor C.R. Babu, to our interview series. And thank you so much to agree to participate into this program. So now we are formally going to start with the interview, and here we are going to start with your career journey. So please brief about your education, career path, and collaboration that you had that help you to achieve so many recognition and position across your domain and in different university.
Okay. Thank you very much, Saurabh. And first of all, let me thank Samina for our brief introduction about me. And I also thank iLEAPS for inviting me for today's event. Uh, Basically, I am a self-trained plant taxonomist. Uh, and then my doctoral program was on the of Calcutta University, was on the flora, herbaceous flora of Dehradun, a small valley located in the foothills of the Himalayas. Uh, the Calcutta University had awarded me Doctor of Philosophy on my thesis on the herbaceous flora. Then I served as a research, senior research fellow at the Botanical Survey of India and worked out on the taxonomic revisions of some families relating families of plant families found in India. And then after that, I joined as a young lecturer in the Department of Botany, University of Delhi, somewhere in 1970, 1970. And at the Department of Botany, 2 professors molded my career as a teacher and researcher. And I would like to mention those 2 professors' names here. One is late Professor B.M. Jori, who was then head of the Department of Botany. And then another one, late Professor H.Y. Mohan Ram, who was also the then head of the department. Both of them actually encouraged me in my both teaching as well as research. Research. Then I'm a committed teacher and a committed researcher, and I had what you call strong interactions with my postgraduate students as well as my doctoral students. That actually helped me in what you call widening my knowledge base, and then subsequently, slowly, I diversified my areas of interest in research, and I moved from hardcore plant taxonomy to the areas of conservation, biodiversity, ecological restoration, ecosystem dynamics, and also plant micro interactions. And I, what do you call, guided more than 40 PhD students, and most of them have been settled in the United States, and I've been doing research in different disciplines, not in my areas of research. Most of them are doing research in molecular biology, but 6 of the students have reached to the level of professor in the in different departments of the University of Delhi. They are following some of the what you call disciplines which I actually initiated. Now they are actually taking up further what you call up in those areas. I also, let me tell you that I found that the university requires a separate center for the management of ecosystems. So therefore, I was the founder director of Center for Environmental Management of the Ecosystem. And this center was recognized as a center of excellence of the Ministry of Environment and Forest for more than 20 years. And still it is recognized as a center of excellence of the Ministry of Environment and Forest Climate Change, Government of India. And I also just forgotten, for 1.5 years, the university sent me to for postdoctoral research at the University of Manchester under Professor Valentine, a very distinguished uh, uh, plant taxonomist, as well as experimental scientist. And under him, I worked on the population biology of one weedy species in UK. And then I returned back, and then I established what you call a separate lab for undertaking the population biological studies of Indian species. And I must tell you that I have been working in different projects, and presently I'm interested in what you call science-based, nature-based solutions to address serious environmental problems facing the country. And we have fairly what you call grants from different funding agencies, including the government organizations. And presently, I am working as uh, Samina has pointed out that I'm a professor emeritus currently, and carrying out different projects, particularly relating to the development of development and management of biodiversity parks, not only in Delhi, across the country, and also what you call undertaking works relating to in situ remediation of wastewater using nature-based solutions, particularly the constructed wetland system. And I must tell you that we have evolved what you call a very simplified constructed wetland system that works very well, and within what you call 1 hour, 1 mld of sewage water can be what you call treated right in the drain itself and get a clean water which will be discharged into the river system. This is in brief about myself and my activities in the University of Delhi. I did not move anywhere else. I've been working in the University of Delhi for more than 50 years, and that and I joined as a lecturer, and then I retired as superannuated as a acting vice chancellor of the University of Delhi. This is in brief what I am.
Thank you so much, sir, for explaining your career journey and highlighting so many important um halts in between, and you also explaining for your very significant contribution right from the plant taxonomy, working with BSI, Department of Botany, and your very much significant contribution by creating a Center for Excellence in that is a environmental management and degraded ecosystem, and your contribution as a pro vice chancellor of University of Delhi. So uh, that is actually a great effort toward biodiversity, to maintaining or creating the ecosystem that have been degraded due to several maybe natural or anthropogenic activities. So considering your effort toward the biodiversity toward creating biodiversity park, so you have been successfully transformed thousands of the acre of the degraded land from the Yamuna floodplain to the Aravalli Hills, so into the thriving biodiversity park actually. So how does your biodiversity park model differ from a traditional city park or a botanical garden, and why is it so much important for the city's survival? So
All right.
what you think?
All right. This is a very important uh, question. Let me tell you what the biodiversity parks are. Biodiversity parks are unique landscapes of wilderness where ecological assemblages of plant species are recreated in the form of biological communities on a what you call few hundred acres of degraded lands. In other words, biodiversity parks are nature reserves and harbor natural ecosystems or natural heritage, and have cultural, educational, and conservation values, and contribute to environmental sustainability. Now, you may ask me how the biodiversity parks differ from what you call the other greens present in different urban centers. Let me tell you, these biodiversity parks are nothing but an integrated, what you call, a group of ecosystems that what we call provide a large number of ecosystem services, like you must more services, purification of air, and buffering of local weather, particularly the temperature, through microclimatic regulation, sequestration of carbon dioxide, and also recharging what you call groundwater. Most important is what you call mitigate the heat island formation, and also what you call reduce the heat load of the atmosphere. In other words, reduce the temperature of the land surface temperatures. All these what you call, and also conserve the flora and fauna, local flora and fauna. Now, all these ecosystem services contribute to the human well-being. And all these cannot be rendered by parks and gardens, which are represented by few individual trees of one or two or maximum 5 species. And what they provide beauty, aesthetics, and recreation and spirituality. You may ask me whether these are also provided by biodiversity parks. Yes, these are also provided by the biodiversity park. I just want to tell you the concept of biodiversity park was implemented for the first time in Delhi, and by Delhi Development Authority, a local what you call government city building agency, in collaboration with our Center for Environmental Management of Degraded Ecosystem. It is a novel blue-green infrastructure of the urban centers. And I've just listed the number of ecosystem services rendered by these biodiversity parks. And today, Delhi has a network of 7 biodiversity parks, which are providing all the services just now mentioned. In addition to that, many state governments have what we call started developing these biodiversity parks. For example, Uttar Pradesh has 7 biodiversity parks. They're developing the biodiversity parks for rejuvenation of Ganga, and that's the best approach. And in fact, the National Mission Clean Ganga, a regulatory agency, has recommended the establishment of biodiversity parks all along the floodplains of all the rivers in India as a part of their rejuvenation. Similarly, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, has directed all state chief ministers to establish the biodiversity parks in the state capitals as well as district capitals, indicating the ecological what you call importance of the biodiversity park as compared to the other green buffers in the cities.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for explaining this question addressing this question very beautifully, right from explaining the ecosystem services and mitigating the climate change related issues and reducing the urban heat island related effects. So we have also got to know that you're also well known for managing the invasive species and for the cut root stock method to manage particularly Lantana camara. So in a country where invasive species are often met with chemical or mechanical overkilling, what can other scientists learn from your approach of
Right.
using plants' own biology against it?
Right. Very good. I must tell you, Lantana camera is one among the top 10 world's worst invasive species or weeds. It is native to South America, but introduced in different countries for its ornamental value. But soon it invaded all the tropical and subtropical regions of all the 5 continents, mind it. In India alone, it has invaded more than 30 million hectares of forest. And it has eliminated grasslands. It has what you call changed the structure and composition of the forest communities. And it has also led to failure of the forest regeneration in India. So therefore, is a major invasive species in India, and still we have no way how to manage this. Okay. Now, throughout the world, this is a menace. Is a menace in terms of ecosystem services. So therefore, many methods have been developed, like physical, chemical, and biological methods. Many of these methods have limitations, and sometimes chemical methods have been used in the West, but we cannot use it in the forest because any what you call plant can develop a resistance to herbicide, and then it creates a problem. There will be a change in the genetic composition of the other species. So therefore, it cannot be used. No chemical, no biological methods can be used in the control of this method in the forest ecosystems. Now, under the Center of Excellence program of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, myself and my scientist initiated studies on the taxonomy, biology, and ecology of Lantana camara, essentially to find out a simple, innovative method by which it can be controlled, it can be managed in the ecosystems. So we studied that it has many attributes, ecological and biological attributes, which can overcome most of the methods that have been used across the world. So what is that, how it is overcoming all the methods that are used by different countries in the world? See, it has meristems which develop into shoots and buried in the soil. So all these methods which actually what you call work on the aerial biomass, it will never go into the subterranean system, subterranean area where these what you call meristems are hidden in the soil. And when aerial biomass is died or cut or killed, then these young shoots would sprout and become a plant within 6 months. So until unless you remove this, what you call meristems, you will not be able to control this plant. So what we have done, we looked at the root system. It has a many lateral roots which spread horizontally over a large area to take the nutrients from different large what you call surface area, and then it has short tap roots, stout tap roots, which penetrate vertically up to 1 meter. And we found making a 3 cuts in the top root using a local garden instrument called kudal, you can lift a 50 years old clump or 100 years old clump, and then we place this clump upside down, uprooted clump, and then this uprooted plants, why we made upside down? Because if any branch, if it touches the soil, it produces the roots and become independent plant. So to create an imbalance in the hormones and not to what if allow any branch to touch, so we what you call kept the entire plant upside down. And then this plant would be dried up in the next few days. It can be used as a firewood. It can be used for making a furniture. It can be used what you call for making briquettes, which will be used for cooking food. Now, this method is the only method which has been successfully what you call used at the Corbett National Park. Using this method, we removed lantana forest over an area of 500 acres and restored all these 500 acres back into the what you call grassland. And that grassland now attracts thousands of herbivores, and this led to sighting, high frequency of sighting of tigers, and this helped many tourists to see the wildlife, and therefore the local communities have economically what you call improved as a result of tourist rush to these areas to see the wildlife after development of grasslands, after removing the lantana. Now today, this technique has been widely used by the forest department across the country as well as in the subcontinent. I'm not sure whether the technique has gone outside the Indian subcontinent, might be used by other countries too. I'm not sure.
Thank you so much, sir, for explaining the cut root stock method very beautifully. And it has been successfully implemented across the nation, and people are having a benefit out of it. So we also understand and identified that you're also known for your contribution in rejuvenating the Yamuna floodplain. And we know that the restoration of this Yamuna floodplain is also one of the most challenging project. And that is obviously due to the immense pressure from urban encroachment and pollution related issue. So do you believe we can ever truly restore this reverse ecosystem function capacity? And let us know about the we now uh, can you let us know that are we now in the phase of damage control only, or uh, we are further beyond this?
All right. Okay. I must tell you, uh, the rivers in the tropics are slightly different from the rivers from the temperate countries. You cannot compare Thames River to any of our monsoon rivers like Yamuna or Ganga or many other rivers, Brahmaputra, because the temperate rivers do not have many what you call ecosystems. But here in the tropics, a river system has a complex network of ecosystems. And all these ecosystems have high ecological integrity. And it is this high ecological integrity among diverse river ecosystems lead to the health of the river, which in turn, what you call, contribute to the quality and quantity of the stream flows. This is the basic philosophy. Now, in other words, if any approach, ecological approach, where you can restore all the river ecosystems and bring back the ecological integrity, will actually contribute to what you call the regeneration of the river and its ecosystems. Now, keeping this in view, we have developed Yamuna Biodiversity Park spreading over an area of 457 acres along the floodplains of the river Yamuna, where we have virtually restored all floodplain ecosystems, that is floodplain forest, floodplain grasslands, floodplain marshes, floodplain catchment, floodplain wetlands, and then we have riparian ecosystems, and then we have what you call river basin ecosystems. All ecosystems have been restored on a barren area in the Yamuna Biodiversity Park. Now, let me tell you, if we replicate this Yamuna Biodiversity Park all along the 52 kilometers of what you call urban stretch of Yamuna, the Yamuna will have a different ecology and will be regenerated. And this, what you call model, will also contribute to what you call the environmental sustainability of the city, which actually suffering with the serious air pollution hazard. So what I want to say is, if the policymakers would agree to replicate this Yamuna Biodiversity Park model all along the 52-kilometer stretch of the floodplains of river Yamuna, the river would automatically get regenerated and will contribute to what you call enhance and also contribute to the environmental sustainability of the city. Clear?
Thank you, sir, for this great insight about this Yamuna floodplain and related aspect. Sir, we have also heard about a term that you frequently use, the ecological engineering. So, how you will explain a student or a layperson about the ecological engineering, and how will you explain the difference between letting nature heal itself and the active scientific intervention required to jumpstart the dead ecosystem? So,
All right.
how you
This
will
is a very
explain?
also good question. Everyone knows land degradation is one of the what you call major 21st environmental challenge. Land degradation is undermining the what you call well-being of 3.2 billion people. That is 40% of the global population. Land mining led to extension of 87% of wetlands. And land mining is threatening food security and access to what you call clean air and clean water for most of the world's citizens. All this is because loss of ecosystems or the death of ecosystems, which led to loss of ecosystem services. So therefore, the best way is to bring back the dead ecosystems to their natural state. How to do it? Is it possible? And if we allow these degraded landscapes, do they able to come back to their natural state? Yes, they will come back, but will take hundreds to thousands of years to come back. Why? They don't have nutrients. They don't have what you call moisture. and they don't have a soil. How can any ecosystem will how can ecological succession take place in such habitats? It will take what you call 100 to 10,000 years to bring back these degraded ecosystems. So a young scientific discipline has emerged out to what you call intervene and restore these degraded lands back to their natural state within what you call 10 years, or some cases 5 years. If I want to develop a grassland, I will take just 2 to 5 years. But if I want to take a rainforest ecosystem, I need a period of 10 years. Within 10 years, the ecosystem will be fully functional. Now, what is this ecological restoration? Ecological restoration is the only hope for the future of environment. And the planet's future depends upon the development of this ecological engineering or ecological restoration. It's very simple. Ecological engineering, we have used ecological restoration in the development of our biodiversity park. We have used ecological restoration in the development of restoration of the river ecosystems. And ecological restoration is an ecological engineering and involves the assemblage of native species in the form of ecological communities. What these ecological communities do is when you introduce these ecological communities on a barren soil, they will not die. They will start promoting biophysical processes. What are those biophysical processes? Nutrient cycling and soil development and soil moisture. If you do this, then gradually these processes lead to the redevelopment of the ecosystem. So what is the final objective of the ecological restoration or the outcome of the ecological restoration or ecological? The final objective is to what you call establish an ecosystem that has biodiversity and ecosystem function and render ecosystem services similar to the one before degradation. That is the objective of the ecological restoration. And this ecological restoration, what you call, we have used ecological restoration on a mined out areas, and within 10 years, we developed a 5-storied rainforest ecosystem on 250 acres of a barren limestone area in Orissa. And now that has become a model for most of the foresters to develop what you call to practice ecological restoration in the restoration of degraded forest landscapes. And you ask me, what would be the cost of this? That depends upon the nature of the terrain. And per hectare, you can have a, I'm going to tell in terms of rupees, maybe 5 lakhs, you can do it. Within 5 lakhs, you can restore 1 hectare of land back to its natural state if you do it very carefully. And you don't need to add any soil. You don't need to add any fertilizer. The system works. We use what you call forest soils or some microbial consortium or mycorrhiza to hasten the growth and survival rate. This is in brief, I'm telling you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Please,
Okay.
go ahead, go ahead.
So much, sir, for explaining this engineering and in a very simple language so that everybody can understand it. And also, you have highlighted the requirement and the efforts going on in restoration of this degraded ecosystem. So in this line, we have also identified, you have also strongly supported this national mission on ecological restoration of the degraded land. If this mission were implemented today, then what would be the first 3 priorities landscape in India that you would target for the immediate intervention?
See, let me tell you that I submitted the project proposal on the national mission on ecological restoration of degraded uh, ecosystems or landscapes to the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. And they have referred it to what we call CAMPA, that is compensatory afforestation program. They have considered, but I do not know where it is. But you ask another question. That question is, what should be the priority? Now, let me tell you. If you ask me, restoration of our catchments and watersheds of our rivers is number one priority. If you do that, we can revive many dead springs, many dead rivers, streams, and small rivers, and we can enhance the quantity and quality of water in rivers, and that would solve our water scarcity problem. This is the number one. If you do not have this, it is impossible to restore our rivers. Let me frank with you. It's very, very difficult. The scenario is this is whatever we do, whatever spend crores of rupees or millions of dollars, but we need to look at what the nature is doing. And then you follow what nature is doing. Then we will be successful, more successful than bringing high tech and then ending up what you call with no what you call success or sustainability. So that is my philosophy. So first thing is one. The second thing is our forests are highly degraded. We need our forest ecosystem should be restored back. And if we restore our forest ecosystems, that would actually contribute to the mitigation, adaptation to climate change, and also our weather patterns, and also the what you call the groundwater system also should be what you call protected if we what you call restore this. And the third is we must also restore the wetlands. These are my three priorities. If the national mission, national mission on the ecological restoration would be implemented.
Thank you, sir. In your description, you have also highlighted the impact of such kind of the ecological restoration and the impacting the or reducing the urban temperature, reducing the impact of the urban heat island, and reducing or mitigating climate change related impacts. So, since we all understood that Delhi is currently facing unprecedented heat wave, particularly in summers, and that is obviously from last few years. So, from your research point of view, how much of the cooling effect can be done to all such urban lungs like Yamuna or Aravali Biodiversity Park that can actually provide? And can ecological restoration be our primary defense against the urban heat island effect?
See, I must tell you, this extreme large surface temperatures and formation of the heat island effects is essentially because we lost our what you call natural ecosystems. Now, if you can bring them back, our natural ecosystems, in the matrix of developmental matrix of our urban centers, we will not only mitigate the heat island formation, but we will also what you call reduce the what you call the land surface temperatures extremes. The reason is that only these ecosystems can what you call bring can what you call reduce the extreme temperatures as well as the mitigation of one through microclimatic regulation. This microclimatic regulation plays a very important role in buffering our weather conditions as well as local weather conditions and the temperature. And this microclimatic regulation can be done only by what you call ecosystems, not by parks and gardens. So that is the reason. If you talk the greens in urban centers in terms of parks and gardens, you will provide beauty, but you will not able to what you call provide ecological services, which actually determine the quality of life. So for enhancing the quality of life, you need to develop what you call the natural ecosystems in the form of vegetation buffers or in the form of biodiversity park. For example, now Delhi government as well as the central government has decided to restore the entire 7,700 hectares of reach. If you can restore that, the problems of air pollution hazard, the problem of high temperatures, the problem of heat island formation, the problem of carbon dioxide mitigate the climate resilience, climate adaptation and mitigation can be solved if the reach is restored back to its natural state of 7,700 acres. They are planning, and as well as replicate the Ahmedabad Park model along the 52-kilometer stretch. The city of what you call Delhi will have a higher quality of life. This is all what I want to say.
Thank you,
But
sir.
there is a what you call the central government has come into action. The state government has come into action, and they have already formulated, and they have also fixed the targets of restoration. And very soon, our reach will have a different type of ecosystems, not the type of ecosystem that we have, which is now invaded by another invasive species, Prosophis juliflora.
Thank you, sir, for explaining the importance of this ecological restoration over the urban parks. Maybe all of us, maybe from the academia, from the government, NGO, and all the people will work together and will try to develop such to restore our ecosystem back so that we can have we can get rid of air pollution and heating related issues from Delhi and some other part of the India and world. So, since we have understood that you have so much of experience in working together with in the different project along with the different stakeholder, so can you briefly explain the role of different stakeholders like government, NGO, local communities in climate mitigation and climate and ecosystem restoration in such kind of the project?
See, I don't have much wider knowledge about this aspect, but still I will try to answer the question that what is most important is we must educate our public and lawmakers, that is our political leaders, about the what you call impact of adverse impact of loss of ecosystems or loss of what you call forests uh, uh, in a way that loss in the ecosystems or the forest ecosystems will enhance the risk of vulnerability of humans to climate change. Until this message goes into their mind, is very difficult to what you call involve them in the either mitigation what you call approaches or climate mitigation change mitigation approaches, and also in the restoration of it. So capacity building in terms of what you call uh, creating awareness about the functions of the ecosystems, natural ecosystems, in mitigating the what you call mitigating and adapting climate change need to be, what you call, taken up on a large scale. And for example, the national mission Clean Ganga is now come out on a large scale, what you call capacity building in what you call telling the people that you should restore all the ecosystems, not the water channel. Now that has making an impact at the ground level. Now everyone talks about the role of floodplains and the role of the what you call riparian ecosystems. So this kind of capacity building in creating awareness about the role of different ecosystems and how to what you call use nature-based technologies, solutions to address the solutions, to address the environmental problems is very, very critical in the developing countries.
Yes, that is very important to create awareness and capacity building program to aware people from governments at society level also. So, since you have spent so much of time in University of Delhi and mentoring so much of ecologists, so many students during PhD. So, what is the one of the core philosophy you hope your student carry forward into the world that is increasingly disconnected from the natural environment?
I must tell you that the philosophy is in one sentence answer. Ecological security is as important as its national security. And this message has to be percolated at all levels. Then only we would be able to what you call save this planet. Then only we would be able to sustain our biosphere. And let me frank with you, at this ecological security is not bothered. I don't want to bring politics here, but if you look at the president's approach of United States on climate change, he abuses these all climate change is only a philosophy of scientists. This is not true. So therefore, what we need is if we want to save this planet and if we want to have a sustain the biosphere, we need what you call ecological security. It's as important as the nation security. If we do not, if we lose all our ecosystems, this and if there's no life on this planet, this planet will become another planet of the universe. It will other in what way Earth's planet is different from other planets. The Earth planet has a life, whereas other planets do not have a life. That's the major difference. So this is the philosophy that should be what you call.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the importance of the ecological security across the world. That's true and that is important also. So, in your several statement, as you have mentioned, uh, has a great capacity to bounce back. So after decades of seeing was degraded land in India, what is the most surprising return of life you have ever witnessed? Perhaps a specific bird or insect that reappeared where no one expected it.
See, let me
From
tell
your
you,
experience.
one of the important properties of an ecosystem is its resilience. You must ask me, what is resilience? The ability of the ecosystem to spring back to its original state if the disturbance is within its threshold limits. I'm using the word threshold limits. And the disturbance factor. The disturbance factor is any developmental activity or grazing, all these are factors. There's no need to intervene. Automatically, it comes back. But if the disturbance exceeds the threshold limits of the ecosystem, the ecosystem is degraded. And once it is degraded, it will not go back. on its own. It's very tough. An intervention is needed. And that's the reason if you undertake the ecological restoration, that ecosystem can be brought back in no time. Now, in our experience, when we have restored ecosystems, we never introduce animal systems, animals. The animals come on their own from the neighboring, what you call, uh, national parks or other, what you call, forest ecosystems. For example, in Aravalli Biospheric Park, we restored. And we have seen a bird, Indian pitta, which was spotted in Aravalli about 100 years ago. And now it has come back. And now it has made Aravalli Biospheric Park as its home. The most unexpected thing which I have not expected, we expected, the Yamuna Biospheric Park. The Yamuna Biospheric Park has a four traffic levels. Now you may ask me, you're surprised, Delhi has a leopard. And the leopard is living comfortably in the restored ecosystem of Yamuna Biospheric Park for the last 18 months without troubling anybody. And we have not introduced, it has come on its own. And we have plenty of animals have arrived to the Yamuna Biospheric Park through a river corridor. You have a wild boars, you have an ox deer, we have what you call many other herbivores. And to feed on the herbivores, the leopard has come. In fact, some of our restored ecosystems are ready to receive tiger from the Rajaji National Park. These are all surprising results. We now anticipated that the trophic structure will go up to 4th level in a restored ecosystem within 20 years. So if you want to see a leopard in Delhi, you can come to our Yamuna Biospheric Park, you can see leopard. It's living comfortably. It does not disturbing anybody. So these are the surprise things that we have done. But what if, as I already told you, if the ecosystem degradation is within the threshold limits, it will come back to its original state with all its animals and so on. But if it is highly degraded, intervention is needed. That we should do. And if you do not intervene, it will be further degraded. And ultimately, you will have a barren land, which is degraded and which creates a lot of problems. No water, nothing. So this is all my thing. This is all what I want to say about this question.
Thank you so much, sir. One last thing that actually I wish to ask you, uh, since you have so much of experience in this field, so the people or early career researcher who are working or very actively contributing in the field of ecological restoration, conservation, biology, biodiversity, and ecological dynamics and function. So, what you actually wanted to suggest them, or what is your ultimate message to them?
My message to everybody is we must preserve our natural heritage, which includes natural ecosystems. And if we do not what you call preserve our natural ecosystems, and if we go on what you call degrading them by consuming large amount of resources, we have no future. So therefore, more people should come forward to conserve those areas which what you call already in a good shape and should not be allowed to further degrade. And those areas which are degraded must be brought back to the functional state and contribute to the ecosystem services. And we should learn to live in harmony with nature. This is my message. We should learn how to live in harmony with nature. Or we must must develop sustainable societies. Our societies are not sustainable now. We go on, what you call, get more and more from the nature instead of giving to the nature. And that will actually destabilize our entire planet on a large scale. This is my message.
Thank you so much.
More
Thank you
people
so
should
much,
come forward to
sir.
what you call for the conservation of the nature and restoration of degraded areas. I hope I have explained to you whatever I know.
So, sir,
And
many of us, I hope, sir, many of us learn a lot from your interview, and the people who are working or actively working in this field will be having so much of benefit out of it. And, the key message that you have float to this platform will be really helpful for them to carry forward their research in the future and contributing into this domain. And thank you so much for providing all this beautiful your journey, your experiences, your knowledge with all of us. So thank you so much for all such beautiful experiences that you gained through your career journey. So with this word, this is all for this today's interview. And now I would like to invite Pallavi Saxena for her concluding remarks.
before she concludes, I just want to tell you the entire work
Sure.
that we have done at Delhi uh, is not only due to me, but a group of behind me. We have a group of committed, what you call, scientists and technical staff. All of them actually work together and make this program successful. And now people are witnessing, yes, we can bring back the lost nature. This is all what I want to say. I want to acknowledge my team in this. Now,
Thank you very
yes.
much, sir, for taking your time out from your busy schedule for iLEAPS Global Interview Series. And we are very much glad and privileged that we started our new episode, that is episode 2 of this series with you. It was a great privilege for us to listen to your academic and research achievements and your incredible contribution in the field of ecology, biodiversity, and conservation at ground level by establishing biodiversity parks, CEMDE, and the founder of Department of Environmental Studies, University of Delhi. So I personally thank you as an alumni of this department for nurturing the young minds and give them a chance to contribute and taking this legacy forward in different aspects. That incredible and exemplary contribution of biodiversity parks playing a significant role for providing various ecosystem services in an urban city like Delhi, and your outstanding journey of establishing such urban green spaces will inspire other countries too to come up with such sustainable method which can be a beautiful ecosystem living model for the environment. So your outstanding journey for converting degraded ecosystems into productive ones and giving them life is an impressive attempt for the environment. And it also gives us a picture in our working group for iLEAPS to look forward this research contribution. At last, we are again very thankful for your esteemed presence in our today's show for sharing your experiences, contributions, and academic and research journeys. Last but not the least, UKCEH and Future Earth for giving us opportunity to continue this series. Thank you very much again.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
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 Bye.